Hello everybody, my name is Heather and I'm from Ruby and Pearl. Welcome back to the Graphics Fairy. So today is Tag Team Friday and I'm going to be sharing just a very simple tag that I created. I'm calling it my Posey Pocket Tag because I thought that it would be a really sweet way to just tuck a little flower inside of the tag, and then you could attach it to a package, or you could give it as a gift, or you could even just use it as a card, or even put in your journals. If you guys make junk journals, you could tuck a little flower in there and put it in your journals. So I'll show you what I mean when I say a little flower pocket. So I just picked these little flowers from my yard, and I just thought it would be so cute to just tuck a few little flowers in there and give that to somebody as a gift, you know, or like tie it onto their package. I don't know, I just think it's so cute. And you could even let them dry on there and they would probably be really sweet. You could press them and put them, dry them that way and then tuck them in. You could add some vintage millinery flowers. You could just, whatever, if you have like little paper flowers that you purchased at the craft store or something like that. Any type of little flower or something you want to tuck inside there. So yeah, so that is the thought behind that. So I'm going to show you how simple these are. They're so simple. And let's just get started. So I already made these two. I'll just set them out of the way here. And what I did was, the Graphics Fairy has a bundle on their premium site called Wild Pressed Ferns. And basically it's just a lot of images of all of these little ferns, which are so beautiful. And last year I pressed a bunch of ferns from my own garden, so I just think they are so pretty, this bundle. So anyways, what I did was I just took one of the ferns from that bundle and I printed it onto tea stain paper. And I printed it at wallet size, which is like, I think it's 2 inches by 3 inches. It's the one where you can put the 9 on one page, but I just printed one. So that's what I did for the size. And then basically I just sort of eyeballed how I wanted to make the size of the tag. So I'll just kind of use this as my guide, but I just took and kind of went around it, folded the paper, and created the tag to just kind of suit the image. So I didn't necessarily make it any specific size. So basically just take, fold, and tear. And then take this one and fold, and then tear. And then do the same on this side. And just kind of get yourself about the size that you want for your tag, just by tearing. You don't have to tear. You could use scissors, you know, whatever you like. So I just gave myself, you know, just the size that I liked. So once you have that, all I did was I took a brown bag that I saved. And I like using these a lot for crafting. So I just want to make a back to this part out of this brown bag. So all I'm going to do is just kind of gauge where that lays. And I'm just going to cut that. And then I'm going to fold the bottom because I like that rough edge. So I really like to keep like that rough edge because I think it gives it a little bit of, I don't know, character or something. I just really like that. So what I'm going to do here is, I feel like it should be just a little bit shorter on this side. And this is something I really like to do whenever I make tags or anything really where I'm ripping edges. I like to keep like maybe 2 or 3 edges ripped, and then I like to cut with my scissors just like a straight line on one of the sides. So what I'm going to do is take my glue stick, just using a glue stick. I'm going to glue this down first before I cut. And then you can use a glue stick for this project. You don't have to use any fancy glues, which is really nice. It's just a super simple tag. And it is, well, at the time that I'm filming this, it is still April, but by the time this goes on the Graphics Fairy, it will be May. And here where I live, we always say like May flowers. So so I think this tag is really cute for that theme too, of just the flowers are coming into season here. So I'm just going to take my scissors and cut that down just a tiny little bit to make it a little bit more tall and skinny. And then I'm going to take my ink pad and I'm just going to come over here on this side and go ahead and ink that up a little, just to kind of take away that white. And then I'm going to take and this top part, so it's not glued all the way on the top, but I'm going to re-glue that. But I'm just going to kind of fold it and make it a little bit kind of scruffy looking, just because I really like that. I like that, just kind of the edge there. I think it just adds just a little bit of interest. And I'm just going to fold that in and just kind of work it with my fingers a little bit, make it look a little bit messy. Take my ink pad and just add just a tiny bit of ink. Just like that. I think that looks pretty good. So that's how I'm gonna create the base of the tag. And then once we do that, we can take and I take a little circle punch. It's a 5/8 inch circle punch. And I just take some of that brown paper and cut out a little circle. This is how I like to do my reinforcers. And then just take my glue stick and glue it down here like that. And then I'm going to take my crocodile, which all this is this is just a hole punch on here. And then I'm just going to punch a hole right in there for my tag. And then the next thing we are going to add is this is what I used. It's called, well, this I took off the package, but it's a type of hemp cord, and you can find this at any craft store. So I just take a little bit of that. You could use just regular jute, or you could use ribbon, you could use thread, you could use like embroidery floss, whatever you have on hand. So I have to find the end of this because I can't find it. Okay, there we go. So we're going to take this cording and we are going to, I'm going to move these out of the way. So I'm going to hold this extra piece right here. And then I'm just going to wrap it around once and then twice and then 3 times. And then I'm going to kind of come down here. And then I'm going to bring it around one last time. And I'm going to try to crisscross at least one of those because I like the way that looks. And then I'm going to take my other end and just tie a knot. And you want to kind of try to make this as kind of like taut as you can get it. So sometimes I like to just bend this up a little when I'm tying my knot, because then whenever I go to straighten it out, it will give that like tension that I want to hold the flower. Once I straighten that out, it will make all of these kind of lay nice and flat. See what I mean? You kind of have to play with it. So once you make one of these, you'll kind of get the feel for what I'm talking about there, but you really want these to be nice and flat on your surface. So yeah, that looks really cute. And then the last thing that we will do for that is we will get some just jute cord, and I use that for the top because I really like just the natural element of it. I think the tag, the very simple natural element of this tag is really pretty. And then when you put like a colorful flower in there, it's really sweet. So yeah, so just put yourself a little tie on there, and jute ribbon kind of comes undone at the end, so I like to just twist that a little bit to give it a little bit of just that little frayed look on the edge. And there we have it. We made our little tag, which is so cute. So yeah, so I made 3 of these, and I also thought it would be really sweet to take maybe just a little scrap of paper, and you could, this is just some of that tea stain paper that I used for the front, and then you could take a pen and just write a little note to whoever you're giving this to, thinking of you, love, Heather. And then take on the back and slip your little note in there like that, which is so cute. So yeah, so you can just take and tuck your little flowers in here. Like take your little flowers and come in like that, and then you can use some of these bottom ones to kind of hold another one and make like a little bouquet. And then you can just give it to your neighbor or a friend and attach it to the package or whatever you like. I think it's just super sweet and a very thoughtful little gift that you could give to someone. So yeah, so you get the gist. So there we have it. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this little tag tutorial, and they're very, very simple to make, and I hope that you guys will try some. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.